Darkness marks the edge of the map. Beyond, humanity ventures forward. Many called it the void. Some said it was dangerous. Others said it was the place where the universe itself seemed to hide secrets meant for no one to find. Captain Nathan Briggs stood on the bridge of the starship Aurora, staring out at the stars. His hands rested on the rail as he watched the light of distant suns flicker against the blackness. He had flown missions before, seen strange worlds, and faced dangers in uncharted space. But this mission was different. He and his crew were about to go beyond the edge of the map, into a region where no human had ever gone. "Captain, we are approaching the Veil Nebula," said Lieutenant Grace Monroe, the navigation officer. Her voice was calm, but Nathan could hear the excitement in it. Grace had been with him on long missions before, and he trusted her judgment completely. "Good," Nathan said. "Keep the sensors on full scan. I want to know everything about this nebula before we move closer." Lights and screens glowed around the bridge, showing waves of energy, readings from nearby stars, and information about the nebula's gas clouds. The Veil Nebula was beautiful, swirling with colors that humans could barely imagine. Reds, purples, and greens mixed together in patterns that seemed alive. But beauty here also meant danger. The nebula was known for unpredictable gravitational shifts and electrical storms that could destroy a ship. Engineer Olivia Hayes leaned over the engine console, her fingers moving quickly as she checked the ship's systems. "All engines are stable," she said. "Life support is at full capacity. Shields are ready for any sudden bursts from the nebula." He turned to Ethan Brooks, the ship's xenobiologist. Ethan was young but brilliant, fascinated by anything living or unknown in space. "How are we looking on the biological scans?" Nathan asked. Ethan frowned at his monitor. "So far, nothing living, Captain, but there are energy readings that don't match anything I've seen. They're faint but consistent. Could be remnants of life or structures left behind. Hard to tell at this distance." In the crew quarters, Liam Carter, the communications specialist, adjusted his station. Liam was responsible for sending and receiving signals, keeping the Aurora in contact with human colonies and stations. He checked the long-range scanners and smiled. "We're still in contact with Earth, Captain," he said. "No delays yet. But remember, once we go beyond the mapped systems, communication could take hours or even days. Prepare for that. We may be alone out there." Instead, there was excitement, curiosity, and a shared belief in humanity's ability to survive anything. That belief had always carried humans farther than anyone else thought possible. Nathan walked down the hall to the observation deck. Large windows stretched from floor to ceiling, showing the nebula in all its glory. He pressed his hand against the glass and thought of his family back on Earth. He missed them, but he knew he had a responsibility to humanity. This mission was bigger than any single person. It was about proving that humans were ready to face the darkness and go forward no matter what was out there. "Captain," a voice said behind him. It was Grace. "The nebula is denser than expected. If we want to go through it, we'll have to reduce speed and adjust our trajectory." The unknown had a way of testing every skill, every decision. He thought of the explorers of old who crossed oceans without maps. Humanity had done the same in space, crossing the void with courage and intelligence. Hours passed as the Aurora moved slowly through the nebula. The stars outside flickered as energy storms passed nearby. Lightning-like arcs of energy danced across the gas clouds, sending shivers down the spine of anyone who looked too long. The crew worked in silence, each focused on their task, knowing that one mistake could cost them everything. Suddenly, the ship shuddered. Alarms went off. "Report!" Nathan shouted. Olivia's hands flew across her console. "A gravitational surge. Something is pulling us toward the center of the nebula." "Then we are not alone." After tense minutes, the ship emerged into a calmer area. The stars were brighter here, and the nebula's gas clouds thinned. The crew exhaled as the alarm stopped. "What was that?" Ethan asked, still staring at his monitor. Nathan shook his head. "I don't know, but it was a warning, and warnings are something humans pay attention to." As they traveled, the nebula opened up to a wide expanse of dark space. Stars were scattered like diamonds on black velvet. There were no planets, no asteroids, nothing visible, yet the sensors continued to pick up faint energy readings, patterns that seemed deliberate. "It's almost like someone, or something, is watching us," Liam said quietly. Nathan nodded. "Maybe they are. Maybe they've been waiting to see if humans have the courage to reach this far." Olivia spoke softly to Nathan while they checked engine diagnostics. "Do you think we'll find life out here?" New worlds, new forms of life, maybe even technology far beyond ours. They mapped small anomalies in the void, studied strange particles, and recorded everything for later analysis. Each day brought new discoveries and new questions. The unknown space beyond the map was not empty, it was waiting for humans to step into it. One evening, while observing a distant cluster of stars, Grace noticed something unusual. "Captain, sensors are picking up a formation," she said. "It looks geometric, not natural, I can't explain it." Liam sent out signals in patterns that might communicate with whatever was there. Olivia monitored the engines, ready for anything sudden. Ethan watched the readings with fascination. Grace adjusted the ship's course, carefully moving closer to the formation. The shapes became clearer. Large, floating constructs, perfectly aligned, drifting in the black space. They were unlike anything humans had seen. Nathan felt a thrill of fear and excitement. Humanity had reached the edge of the map, and beyond it lay the unknown. "Keep calm," Nathan said. "We do this carefully. Humanity survives by thinking, by planning, and by courage. Let's show that we belong here." Energy pulsed in patterns that seemed almost like a heartbeat. The crew felt it too, a sense that this was not just empty space, but a place where something larger than humanity waited. Nathan looked at his team. "We are here not by accident, but because we dared to go forward. This is why humans explore. This is why we survive. Whatever is out here, we face it together." Yet they seemed almost delicate, as if they had been carefully placed by some intelligence. Ethan leaned over the console, studying the readings. "These formations, they're not natural," he said. His voice was full of wonder. "They move slightly, adjusting their positions, but not in a way that obeys gravity. It's like they're alive in their own way. Keep the shields at maximum, but maintain sensor scans. We need to understand what we're looking at." "Anything." Then it happened. A beam of light shot from one of the structures and hit the Aurora. It was not destructive, but the sensors went wild. Lights flashed and screens filled with data. "Report," Nathan shouted. "It's scanning us," Grace said, her voice tense. "The energy readings are off the charts, but it's not harmful, at least not yet. It's studying us, like we are the strange ones." "I don't know, the signals we sent, they changed. The pattern repeated itself in a way I haven't seen before. It's intelligent, but not like anything human, or even anything we've studied." Ethan recorded everything, writing notes and analyzing patterns. "Look at this," he said. "They react to us, not violently, but they move. The shapes rotate, align, and separate in response to our presence. It's as if they are curious. That's why we have to be careful. We observe, we learn, and we stay ready for anything. But it's rhythmic, almost like music. I can try to respond with a matching sequence and see if it reacts." "It's communicating," Ethan whispered. "It understands that we are trying to respond. This is incredible. This could still be dangerous. Then it wants us to follow. That's a first. No one has ever guided humans this far before. We follow, yes, but we stay alert." Ethan discovered that the structures were not just reacting, they were learning. Each response was slightly different from the last, adapting to the crew's actions. "This is not just intelligence," Ethan said one evening. "It's curiosity. They want to know who we are, and they are testing us. We face the unknown, we learn, and we continue forward." "Can you interpret it?" Every decision he made now could affect the entire mission and the survival of his crew. As they continued, the corridor widened. Strange shapes floated in the distance, larger and more complex than the first ones. Energy pulsed in a rhythm that seemed almost alive. Grace adjusted the navigation to keep the ship safe, but Nathan felt a sense of wonder. This was the edge of the map, and humanity was moving beyond it. One evening, as the crew rested, Ethan approached Nathan quietly. "Captain, I've been studying the patterns," he said. "I think they're trying to communicate in a way we can understand. It's not words, but it's deliberate. We may be the first humans to experience this. We must observe and respond carefully." She spoke softly to Nathan one evening. "Do you ever wonder if they can harm us, or if they are benevolent?" The crew grew used to the rhythm of the corridor, the gentle scans, and the strange pulses of light. They began to anticipate changes in the formations, learning to read the energy patterns as if they were a language. Finally, the formations led them to an area unlike anything the crew had seen before. A massive structure floated in the void, its surface glowing faintly. It was clearly artificial, but unlike any human design. It was enormous, larger than any city on Earth, and shaped like a web of interconnected platforms and towers. Nathan's eyes widened. This is incredible. We have found something no human has ever seen. We must study it carefully. We will take the next step together. We are here at the edge of the map, and beyond it lies a challenge. But humanity survives by curiosity, by courage, and by facing the unknown. This is why we venture forward. It was not a battle. It was the beginning of a conversation. A conversation that would test humans, teach them, and perhaps change their place in the galaxy forever. The massive structure loomed ahead of the Aurora, glowing faintly in the darkness. Nathan Briggs studied the readings on his console. The energy was unlike anything humans had recorded before. It pulsed, shifted, and seemed almost alive. Yet the alien formations that had guided them here remained outside, floating silently, waiting. "Captain," Grace said, her voice tight with concentration, "the readings are stable, but the structure seems to emit a kind of gravitational distortion. If we get too close, it could pull us in. Keep the engines ready and shields at maximum. We don't know what we're dealing with, so caution is key." "Shields at 100%. Engines stable. Life support is fine, but the closer we get, the more the readings spike. This could be dangerous. Humanity has survived because we learn, adapt, and respect what we do not understand." "Captain, I'm seeing something strange. There's a region ahead where the energy is denser. Gravity is twisting oddly. It's like space itself is bending. Dangerous places where space and time are unstable. Ships enter, and many never return. We survive because we face what others fear." "We move together," he said. "No sudden actions. We watch, we listen, and we respond. We trust our skills and each other." "Follow their path," Nathan ordered, carefully. "Hold steady," Nathan shouted over the alarms. Olivia adjusted the engines, balancing power to keep the ship from being pulled off course. Grace worked the navigation, carefully plotting the path. Ethan recorded every anomaly, fascinated despite the danger. Liam monitored the energy pulses, trying to detect patterns in the rift itself. Time seemed to stretch. Minutes felt like hours. Shadows appeared in the void, shapes that were not stars or energy formations. They moved subtly, as if alive, but could have been tricks of the warped space. "Captain," Ethan said quietly, "I think the rift itself is alive. It reacts to our presence. Every move we make changes the energy flow. Humans survive by understanding the unknown and acting with courage. Compensate, don't fight blindly. Work with the rift, not against it." The crew worked in perfect coordination, balancing engines, navigation, and shields. Slowly, the Aurora stabilized. The rift's pull weakened, and the stars beyond became visible again. The crew exhaled, exhausted but alive. Nathan looked at each of them. "We made it. This is why humans survive. Not because we are stronger than the unknown, but because we are clever, adaptable, and brave. They're guiding us further. They respect our skill, I think." For the first time, the crew allowed themselves to rest. They ate, slept in shifts, and shared stories quietly, trying to regain their strength. Even in the calm, Nathan reminded them to stay focused. "Rest, yes, but do not forget where we are. This mission is far from over. The unknown stretches ahead. Captain, this place, it feels alive. The rift, the structures, everything. It's like the universe itself is watching us." Each day brought strange anomalies, pockets of swirling light, drifting energy forms, and gravitational waves that tested the ship's limits. The crew adapted. They learned the patterns of the formations and the subtle shifts of the rift. Humanity's resilience became their greatest weapon. One day, Grace noticed something unusual on the sensors. "Captain, there's a planet up ahead. Small, but it appears habitable. Energy readings are consistent with life. Could be natural, could be something else." Nathan felt pride in his crew. They had survived the rift, learned the rhythms of alien intelligence, and were ready for what lay ahead. Humanity had faced darkness and danger and had come through stronger. The Aurora descended slowly, the planet's surface coming into view. Oceans shimmered under distant suns, forests spread like green carpets, and mountains rose sharply. Strange lights danced in the atmosphere, perhaps natural, perhaps something more. Grace spoke softly. "Captain, this place, it's perfect, untouched, waiting for us to explore. To survive and grow. Humanity goes forward, even where darkness marks the edge of the map." The unknown still stretched ahead, vast and mysterious, but the crew of the Aurora was ready. Courage, intelligence, and unity had carried them this far, and they would carry them farther. Humanity had ventured beyond the map, and nothing could stop them now. The planet below stretched like a green jewel under the black sky of space. Oceans sparkled, forests waved in unseen winds, and mountains rose sharply, untouched by human hands. Nathan Briggs stood on the bridge of the Aurora, staring down at the world. His crew felt the same mixture of awe and excitement. After weeks of navigating unknown space, surviving the Shadow Rift, and encountering alien intelligence, this was a reward they had not expected. "Captain," Grace Monroe said quietly, "all preliminary scans show breathable air, water, and stable gravity. No immediate threats detected. There could be life forms we've never seen before. Intelligent life, maybe even signs of previous civilizations. I think they want us to proceed safely." They had faced unknown intelligence and a dangerous rift. Now they were the first humans to set eyes on a truly untouched world. The ship landed on a wide plain near a river. Tall trees spread across the horizon, and flowers glimmered in colors no human had named. Nathan opened the hatch. He stepped down onto the soil, feeling the firmness of the ground beneath his boots. Every step was a reminder that humans were explorers, capable of enduring the impossible. Grace and Olivia followed, scanning the air and terrain. Ethan knelt to touch the soil. "The nutrients here, incredible. Life must be thriving underground as well as on the surface. It's like they're allowing us to prove ourselves here." The crew took photographs, recorded data, and carefully collected small soil and water samples. "This is amazing," Ethan whispered. "Life untouched by humanity, pure, beautiful, and full of possibilities. We survive with intelligence, courage, and respect. They built these long ago and vanished." Ethan touched a wall lightly, recording the symbols engraved on its surface. "The civilization that lived here, they were unlike anything humans know, and yet there are lessons we can take from this. We do not interfere. That is how humanity survives where others fail." They found small creatures that glowed faintly at night, plants that seemed to move toward sunlight faster than any on Earth, and rivers that carried minerals unknown to human science. One evening, as the sun set over the mountains, Nathan gathered the crew. "We've learned much in these few days," he said. "We've survived the rift, faced the unknown intelligence, and discovered a new world. Humanity is not here to conquer. We are here to understand, to survive, and to grow. We survive not by destroying, but by learning and moving forward. We venture forward because that is who we are." Each crew member had faced fear and uncertainty, yet they endured through courage, intelligence, and teamwork. Grace adjusted the navigation. "Captain, the energy readings from the alien formations are changing. They're moving away now. I think they are satisfied. Humanity has proven itself once again. Humanity ventures forward always. Wherever the map ends, we continue. Darkness marks the edge, but courage lights the way." Humanity had survived the unknown, and they would continue to thrive, adapt, and explore. Days turned into weeks as the crew continued their journey. They mapped new stars, recorded strange energy patterns, and cataloged every anomaly they encountered. Communication with human colonies remained limited, but the crew knew that what they were learning would benefit all of humanity. One night, Nathan stood alone on the observation deck. The stars stretched endlessly, each one a potential world to discover. He thought of Earth, of the colonies humans had built, and of the dark spaces beyond the map. He felt pride not just for himself, but for all of humanity. "We survive because we explore," he whispered. "We endure because we face the unknown. And we thrive because we continue forward. And it will take us farther than we can imagine." The new planet would remain untouched for now, a record of life beyond human influence. The ruins and the energy pulses reminded the crew that intelligence and history existed everywhere. Nathan felt hope for the future. Humanity had ventured to the edge of the map and beyond. The darkness was no longer frightening. It was an invitation. The crew of the Aurora prepared for the next journey, knowing that many challenges awaited. But they were ready. Humanity's strength was not just in technology or skill. It was in courage, unity, and the will to move forward into the unknown. Nathan looked at the stars again, smiling. The edge of the map is just the beginning. Beyond lies the future, and humanity is ready. Humanity had arrived not to dominate, but to explore, survive, and grow. Beyond the edge of the map, a new chapter had begun, and the future was theirs to shape.